Lynch. He got his hair cut.
Yeah.
He went to Germany. Today we have this boxing champion, Cassius Clay, who I think has changed his name to Muhammad or something like that, some kind of Muslim nonsense. But he has refused to go to Vietnam because he's colored. That's it. He thinks that colored people, like this gentleman does, deserve special rights because they're colored.
We
They don't have to do
go over to kill black men.
It's not just colored though. What about the other girls in here? What do y'all think about, we don't want violence. I just want everybody to be happy.
That's right.
We don't want to go fight
Violence, man.
a war that is not on our soil.
They
When it
shot
comes
us.
to
Freedom is
us,
not free, man.
I
It
smell.
is free.
What does that smell on you?
Nothing.
We had a peaceful protest the other day. He reacted with violence. Reacted with violence.
Both of them.
Well, both of them.
Both of them. I
Smell
can't
like
read. I
both.
wish there was another seat available.
Smell like
There
rice.
ain't any
Hey,
wind over here.
My man over here is bringing out the fact about the violence that occurred on this very campus.
Dig it.
I do dig it.
All right.
Well, they're not throwing bottles.
They were throwing bottles. That's
What
all.
happened?
police
That's
officer-
all
Violence.
against a weapon.
They were not.
It's
Those
broadcast.
bottles
It's
weapons.
broadcast
Someone's
so
a white
up
man.
to
You
the
do something,
nation.
you do it, you deserve to get
Trying to
shot.
shoot at us. What are you gonna do? I'm
I
getting
hear
the
the-
closest thing I got.
Nixon's supposed to come over and do an
You're
actual
complaining about
announcement.
When a police officer asks you, tells you to stop right there, and you don't stop, what's going to happen to you?
Gonna get shot.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Those police officers told those students the other day,
Speaking up for
cease
themselves.
and desist.
Yeah.
Stop, halt what you're doing. They continued to throw things at them, and as this brilliant young lady said, they got shot. What kind of music do you listen to? David Cassidy, very good. Bobby Sherman, that sort of thing. Have you heard of this new fellow? He's very good. Barry Manilow.
Oh my
Very-
gosh.
He's very, very good.
What about Jimi Hendrix? You
He
listen
was
to
supposed
Hendrix?
to-
Jimi Hendrix is good.
Come on, Woodstock. Yeah, Woodstock. You didn't even go to Woodstock?
That's good stuff.
I was intense. I was intense.
Judy Henderson was in the army.
Sir, you asked the question, what happened? I'll tell you what happened. John Lennon and Paul McCartney came to the United States, started doing LSD, started smoking drugs, and then started pushing this anti-war movement. And now all of these baby boomer hippies have gotten hold of this thing. And they're making life hard. Poor Lyndon Johnson couldn't even run for president in '68 because they're camped out at the White House.
Hey, Torres, did that baby throw a bottle at you before you shot it?
Well, what's this idea of baby killers? That's just more protesters feeding you garbage and you buying into it. I'm fighting against whoever has a gun shooting at me.
My boyfriend would never kill a baby. He would never kill a baby. They agree.
Protesters feeding garbage and buying into it. You're recruiting people. What are you feeding? I'm recruiting people. We go to war for a reason.
You're saying feeding people garbage. I'm not feeding
That's
anything.
exactly what I'm saying.
No. I'll tell you.
This is Mama talking.
Looks like you're from down around Auburn, is that right?
Yes.
Callie, is he a hero or a villain? Did you hear what he said? He
He's
said
a
he's a
murderer.
hero.
He's a murderer.
He's
Are you kidding me?
God, idiot.
Callie's a murderer.
They're putting this lieutenant on trial at a place down called Fort Benning near Auburn, Alabama.
He don't tell you his side.
Just because he went into Vietnam, just because he did his job,
He killed. How many
taking
people did he
care of the
kill?
guerrilla warfare of the Viet Cong. Yes, he went in, sure. He shot, he had his men shoot at some old ladies and some children. But do you know that the Viet Cong used those people as decoys? They strapped bombs to their bodies. You can't, what would you do if your superior officer tells you, I know better than you? That person that looks like an old lady, but really it's a Viet Cong young man in a disguise. You gonna kill it or not?
So every time a little Asian baby has a load in its diapers, I'm going to assume that's dynamite. That doesn't make sense. You just go killing everyone. What type of excuse is that? He's a murderer. Callie's a murderer.
Read the newspaper.
Oh, please. You
Read
can't
the
read.
The
reports.
newspaper that's
Alabama.
controlled by the government.
If it weren't for cows, you wouldn't be sitting here in freedom, sir. If it weren't for me, you would be in Berlin right now, worshiping Adolf Hitler statues.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
Where are they strapping these bombs to themselves at? Are they in your backyard? Sitting on your porch with a
They
bomb?
will be.
They're in
There will be.
their place, their country, their home. And we're going over
Did you
there.
just hear the...
Strap the bomb, go boom.
Go back to your home. Africa.
There's something about
You
colored
brought me
folks
over
that
here,
don't
probably
get
remember
this,
that.
but you understand, look, 1917 to now, it has spread just like a cancer. You never heard of cancer, have you, sir?
Absolutely.
White America.
Once it starts right here, takes over your whole body if you don't stop it. Communism started with Marx and Lenin's 19th, and it's right at our doorstep. You don't want to do anything about it. You want it to come and take over us, right?
Sir, I think I look back to, how about the American Revolution? How about the Civil War? How about World War I, World War II? Black men all up in there fighting for their country.
The Civil
Don't
War
give
was
me
to
the black people don't want to fight for their country. You guys don't want to give us the freedoms that you enjoy
The
every day
Civil
in this
War was
country.
to give you
I'm not
freedom,
fighting
but
for
you know
you.
what, if you were in the Civil War, you'd say, no, keep me in slavery. I don't want to go to fight
I'm
for
not
anything.
fighting for you.
Explain,
Okay.
explain what the Civil War was all about.
The Civil War was about one thing and one thing only. It was about states'
You have the
rights.
words.
Okay? That's what it was about. The federal government want to tell the states how to run their life, and the states
Just like
how
they're
to
trying to tell us how to
control
run our
themselves.
lives.
Okay?
We can't do what we want. There's no real freedom. That's the government trying to control our lives. I think it's probably time for us to do the same thing, to stand up for ourselves. And that's what we did just a couple days ago. And we were shot right in the middle of the campus.
Welcome to
You
our
were
world.
shot. If you were
Welcome to
shot,
our
you
world.
wouldn't be here.
He
Don't say
was
you were
there.
shot.
all
Us,
participated.
people, the common mankind.
I want to ask the ladies in the room, because it's mostly ladies, do you think it's right for these boys to be here in Ohio rather than over in Vietnam
No.
defending your liberties?
This kid's getting a free education.
He's playing football.
I'm
Not
Please,
very
in
well.
Ohio?
I'm signing up.
In Ohio.
Hey,
What do you think, lady?
That's where I can play.
What do you think?
I'm not that
Shouldn't
good.
they be over fighting for you?
Yes.
They should be over there, shouldn't they?
I'm gonna go there next
Yes?
year.
Yes? I've got a pretty good class here. Most of them understand freedom, they understand the threats of communism.
Freedom. It's the 20th century.
And what do you
Black
think of
man
this
having to
loudmouth
sing,
colored fellow
We
over
shall
here?
overcome.
What do you think
We're
of
having
him?
to sing, we shall overcome in the 20th century.
He's-
Our
he's
government has
uppity.
failed us.
Call this a
Talk too
cancer.
much.
Freedom is not threatened by
uppity.
You are a
communism.
cancer.
Freedom is a chance to choose communism.
There was a time when the colors weren't uppity, because when they got that way, they ended up at the end of a tree.
These girls understand.
See, there we go. And that's my freedom, sir.
And then as soon as we pass a few laws in 1964, it turns them into just crazy people. Loud-mouth, obnoxious, draft-dodging, pot-smoking, dancing, having sex with every white woman they see.
By the way, Dolores, what are you doing after this?
Huh?
What are you doing after this? By
Oh,
the
what do you want to do?
way? You know.
What are you doing?
I'm opposing the draft. You know, if you want to fight the war, you can fight it. But you know, people like me and him, we shouldn't have to fight the war for the right to.
People
You're
like
comparing
you.
yourself to the black man?
I'm fighting my own war.
You've lowered yourself that low?
Because of an ignorant white man like you, I'm gonna stop singing. It's no more we shall overcome. I'm gonna stop singing. I'm gonna start swinging.
Start swinging.
Oh, yes, sir.
Right now.
See, the Civil War is coming right here. It's coming right
I
here.
got something. I got a Civil War.
Helter Skelter is what they call it.
Where's my white mask?
A race war. There's a trial going on right now about a man who this man probably worships, and his name is Charles Manson. He's being tried out in California because he tried to start a race war, just with the same words this fellow here just used. As good as we're going to start swinging. Because black people are going to start beating up on white people. That's what Charlie Manson wanted. You know what he did? He went in and killed a bunch of very innocent, pregnant white people.
They chose to kill themselves.
Who chose to kill
The
themselves?
women. And the people who were following him.
Are you part of the Manson family?
My cousin is.
Your cousin is?
He's brother.
Let's not bring that part up.
Have you all heard of this crazy man Manson? He wants to start a race war in this country. We call it Helter Skelter. Where'd he get that name, Helter Skelter? Anybody know?
The Beatles.
From the Beatles.
Yeah, of course,
told you.
it's their fault. I mean, there's
It all
always
started
these
with the Beatles.
extremists. You're an extremist, he's an extremist. I mean, there's a middle ground for everyone to agree on and live together and work together.
I fought under the flag. I am no extremist.
We are the middle ground. That's what you don't
You're the middle
understand.
ground?
Majority.
I'm the middle.
Oh,
We are the middle ground.
Stick with the law.
You ain't on the fringes.
You're willing to give it to Tommy.
I love man.
Okay, we are going to break our character because we're running out of time here a little quickly. I think, how much time do we have?
Yeah, they have, and it's 11:12, I believe.
We got,
Yeah,
we got,
About 20 minutes. Okay, well, here's what we want to do, though. We want to discuss a little bit of what we did. And I'm asking now the students in Miss Parker's class, what did you learn from this, from what we just did. Did you learn anything that you didn't know already? Tell me what you learned. What did you?
A lot of it was stuff that I think we had heard of. It's just, it went more into detail that we didn't.
Okay.
We haven't gone.
Can you be specific, maybe about
No.
something that surprised you? Maybe or something that you didn't know?
Like, were you surprised that he is up here calling the actual black man and the only one in this really, part of this movement? I mean, did it surprise you?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
I mean, what do y'all think? Like, take off your stereotypes of, what people who, I'm a blonde-haired hippie. I really just want everybody in the world to have peace. If that means that we're fighting a war over in Vietnam, or if that means you're talking about, the Civil War. In terms of just all wars, I think that everybody should that's just an opinion that I became. That doesn't mean that that's true or what I really think. But it's dealing with the living histories and stuff. This is a different one where he really led the class. Y'all were immersed into it. But is there anything that surprised anybody about it, what y'all just saw?
What stood out, I guess, is the question. What stood out? Oh, wow.
Juliana, what you got?
How hard the people that thought that we shouldn't be fighting in the war, and people that thought that all able-bodied men, I guess, should be fighting in the war. I didn't realize that it was so, in each other's faces,
Deathly in each other's faces.
Yeah.
Because the guys, the National Guard, the guardsmen who killed the protesters, the guardsmen basically represented those who believed in the war, right? And they were already in uniform. So, and here's kids out there saying, we're burning our draft cards. I don't think they just shot them because it was a law enforcement. They had some passion about this. Here's some cowards, right? We're shooting you because you're cowards. But unfortunately, it wasn't just young men that got killed. Has anybody seen the famous picture of the girl down like this going, it's a real, you'll probably show it at some point.
Yes, they'll see it.
At Kent State, where her friend is just laying there, she's dead. And it's like, what happened? This is a college campus, How did these people end up dead in a college campus?
But I gotta realize that over 4 million college students protested the war in Vietnam. So just imagine, there's only 20 of us in here, but imagine like a whole group of college individuals. So they're knowledgeable, and some of them, like Torres, he believes that they're gonna go fight. Okay. But you also have, people across America who are just coming together because of the issues of the time. So we're dealing with civil rights, which happened early 1960s, is like what you were talking. I think you made a reference to it. But what you said earlier was very good. Able-bodied men. You picked up on that, and I like that you saw that. Okay.
Somebody else. What did you learn? What did you discover from